Webgility has cleared up our reporting and our numbers to the point where we are able to make faster decisions and enact new features, new policies, new partnerships more quickly and accurately, and we don't have surprises at the end of the year. So I am with a company called Different Roads to Learning. We are a small publishing house as well as a retail site. We resell educational materials specifically for children with autism and specifically for the people who work with them. We publish academic assessments, curriculum, and we sell toys and games, but specifically as tools. Every item we carry covers a skill or helps streamline a process for people who practice a certain kind of therapy called applied behavior analysis. And we carry over 500 different products. I am the director of operations here, so I'm really in charge of making sure that things run smoothly from beginning to end, from when we first start talking to an author to when we pay out their royalty to getting their product on the website to making sure customer orders get processed, making sure, the costs and all of that are accurate, making sure that shipping is efficient. All of those things kind of fall under my purview. In terms of what led us to Webgility, we actually have some very specific products that are assessment kits. There are some very popular assessments that are commonly used really worldwide to assess baseline functionality for children who have autism. And these assessments require very specific items, puzzles with or without frames, certain amount of flashcards, visual imagery for numbers, nouns, so on and so forth. And we've compiled kits that meet all those needs, found items that fulfill every area of the assessment. But these kits have, I am not joking when I say hundreds of items. They may only be 37 line items, but we've made mini kits that meet the demands. Keeping track of inventory for these items is very difficult. And what Webgility has allowed us to do is streamline the process of accounting for those so that our inventory valuation is always accurate. At the end of every day, we get everything leveled out and everything matches across from our warehouse to our Shopify channel to our QuickBooks, which is incredible. It has saved us so much time, so much effort, and really saved us from some accounting practices like manual adjustments of inventory and like bulk amounts that are really, they're not great for your end of the year accounting. So Webgility has really saved us hours and lots of worry, candidly. It's been really, that feature alone has been a lifesaver. What we were doing before Webgility was a manual sync. We ran, specialized code through Amazon Web Services and connected our channel Shopify to our QuickBooks. And it worked okay for some features. We were able to get orders over. If there was an interruption or something like that, we would lose orders though. And what Webgility can do is, of course, tell you when something's not in the system. You can kind of do those checks and balances. So Webgility is better at that. But that was pretty much what we were doing. It didn't capture refunds. We had to put those in manually, and it really did nothing for the inventory. We looked at a couple of plug-in solutions, trying to directly connect the two systems, but nothing out there really quite does what Webgility does in the breadth at which it does it. There are features that are not compatible with kind of our current operations, but that one day I would really love to incorporate that Webgility can do also. Being able to record the transaction fees is huge. Being able to sync payments across the system cleans up a lot of your kind of manual, okay, somebody paid here with a check and we recorded it in QuickBooks, but it still shows as open in Shopify. Like having that kind of closed loop is, it frees up your team to do not the important things, but it frees them up to do more creative things that Webgility can't do. Letting the automation take care of important but ultimately time-consuming tasks so you can get back to product innovation so you can make sure your customer service, do you normally reach out within 3 hours if someone gets in touch with you? Maybe you cut it down to 2, maybe you cut it down to 1. And customer service is very important to us. Making sure that we have time to take care of the customer is top priority, really. I can do some pretty quick calculations in terms of what Webgility has done to save us time and or money. In terms of staff time, it has probably shaved at least 4 or 5 hours of full-time staff effort off every week, in that we don't have to do some of these manual checks. We don't have to check and make sure every order came over into the system. We don't have to enter the refunds by hand. That's really big. And it probably saves us like 3 or 4 hours a month in terms of freelance bookkeeping, accounting time, because some of that manual stuff, again, is already in there. They're not double checking to say, hey, you missed this, or hey, I have to go and add up all these things by hand. They're already in there. So time savings is huge. It also, I think, has saved us in terms of, now that our inventory is accurate, of course, now all of our reporting in terms of revenue and in terms of profitability are accurate. So we're not spending time manually adjusting and saying, okay, it says this on the books, but we know we're going to have to cut this down here. So it actually is this. That's been eliminated. And that isn't even just time and labor. That makes us make real-time business decisions based off what we have, what we're going to have. We're able to project out our budget far more accurately. And that, again, you can't even really put a number on that. That frees you up to be strategic and decisive business operator when you have that information at the ready. With our reporting accurate, we can invest in this opportunity with our marketing, with in terms of like where we put our money towards other things. Even it's much clearer now where and why we can. So that's not even like, oh, it freed us up money to do this. It shows us because we've fixed all of the glitches with Webgility, we can make real-time decisions. We don't have to have long meetings where we say, oh, well, it looks like our inventory is here, but really it's here. And when we adjust that down, we're only at this profit for the year. So we can't do this thing. We can look at the numbers, trust them, and say, we have the bandwidth to do this, or something of that nature. I would absolutely say we didn't have room in the budget for that. We now have to cut that out somewhere else coming up in the upcoming year. It's really, I would recommend Webgility to anyone who has issues with their accounting versus their online channels. I think that it is a really robust system that is geared towards small business owners. Like a small business can operate this without a whole lot of back and forth, a whole lot of confusion. It's intuitive in a lot of ways. Team is great, and I think that the support team at Webgility really knows how a lot of businesses would be set up. We had to do a few more meetings because our business is a little unusual. Most people don't have 4 items that have 37 to 64 line items, and they have component assembly items within that. That's unusual. So we had to take a few more sessions, but I will say there were a couple of default recommendations that we pushed back on and said, no, we don't think that. And our agent was very, able to work with us and able to get us the unique setup we needed. We work more with institutions as opposed to people. So matching by name doesn't even make sense, because what if an individual from an organization orders? But there was like motility of thought in how it was set up. And that, I thought that was really important. To help, you guys have really helped us fix a lot of problems. And I have no problem telling other people what it's done for us.